Good morning and welcome to the Londero Lounge, the man, the myth, the legend, episode 6, Shake It Like a Polaroid Picture. Good morning, Dad.
Good morning, Callie.
It's nice to be back in the chair.
It is,
It
yes,
is.
after a short hiatus.
It certainly is. So today we're talking about music. We may have touched on this a few times before, but in this family, music is everything. So let's get rock and rolling then. You watched AC/DC live in Orange. Tell us more about this.
Yes, this would have been in 1974 or early 75, I think. I can't remember exactly. They were touring the Central West. They played in Dubbo the night before and then turned up on the Friday night. No, they played in Orange on the Saturday night. And I went with Bobby Arnold and we got to the venue and we knew the bouncer on the door, Step Delaney, and he let us in for nix, although the cover charge was only $3.50. But so, yeah, we had a night watching AC/DC with Bon Scott, Angus jumping up on the speaker bins and rocking them backwards and forwards while playing guitar and doing his what's the name, step across the stage that he became famous for.
How did you rate them?
Yeah, they were good, but all those bands at the time were good. They were good. They played and they played and they played. They were in pubs 3 nights a week and they honed their skills. Yeah, so it was a good night. I think we rode around on our bikes after that. Rode out to Carcourt, it was, where I clocked the fastest speed on my Triumph I'd ever done because of the new section of road between Blaney and Carcourt. So it got it up to about 5 k's.
Iconic.
6 o'clock in the morning or something when there was no traffic around.
There's no such thing as safe speeding, ladies and gentlemen.
No. Don't try this at home, kiddies.
Are there any standout artists that you have seen live?
There are many standout artists I saw live. The big day out, we saw Neil Young, and he really went off. Terry and I had tickets for the big day out and a consecutive concert the next night at the entertainment centre, and there was a different crowd. It was young people at the big day out and mature people at the entertainment centre. And even though he had the same set list, the concerts couldn't have been more different. Like, he really jumped around on stage the big day out because he was getting all this feedback from the kids. They were cheering and dancing, and it just brought out the best in him. And it was very sedate the next night. Although it was good, I mean, I can't complain about either concert, but yeah, the differences there. In the V concert, there were quite a few performances I really liked. Duran Duran, they were amazing that night. I saw Jethro Tull in the Enmore Centre. Once again, another really tight band. They had changed their arrangements on their songs a little bit. There was no, you could always tell what song they were playing, but they changed them slightly. And after they'd finished Aqualung, this guy walked up the centre aisle from up the back and he was pointing his finger at them and saying, "You should play your songs like you play them on the record." And everybody laughed at him. You play these songs for years and you've got to play it note for note or otherwise this guy wasn't happy. I saw the Scissor Sisters at the entertainment centre, and that was a spectacular concert. They were such a good live band. They had everyone out of their seats except one guy who sat behind us and complained.
The only one in the entire theatre, yes.
And the Mexican Wave was happening. And this was after it had been banned, but it was still happening. Joe Cocker was an amazing live performance, one that couldn't be missed. So there've seen lots of bands, Status Quo.
Oh, Status Quo. Oh.
They were really good too. That was with pretty much the original lineup. The rhythm guitarist died not long after that, sadly.
Oh.
Yeah.
You've seen some pretty cool bands. I've yes,
over the
very
years,
jealous,
yeah.
very jealous. Are there any memorable moments from festivals that you can recall?
At the big day out, we were down in the pit, and Gucci belt came out of the sky and landed on my head, and I've still got the buckle. I'm not exactly sure where it came from, but there was a bunch of people with this huge tarp tossing this guy in the air just across from us. And it started off, he was fully clothed, and sort of every second time or whatever that he got tossed in the air, there was less clothing until he ended up with like nothing on, being tossed in the air. These guys.
That was too good. Too
Yeah, and
good.
then Terry and I went to see, I think it was the Greats in one of the tents, and they wouldn't let us in because we didn't have an alcohol like
Wristband.
wristband,
Yeah. Yeah.
even though we're both like in our 50s. Anyway, by the time we went back and got the wristband and come back, they'd finished, which was disappointing because I wanted to see the Greats because I like girl was the singer. She's really good.
I got to see them. They
Yeah.
were bomb. The toilet paper at the big day out.
Oh yes, well, toilet paper. People were using them as streamers, and they were. It was everywhere. Like people were throwing them down from up on the stadium, like rolls of toilet paper. They hold the end, and away they'd go. And that started when I think when the Arctic Monkeys were playing. Yeah, which I was disappointed in. They were supposedly a really good band, but they were flat that day, as were, well, it wasn't System of the Down, it was the guy from System of the Down and a bunch of other musos, but they played System of the Down songs and they were pretty flat. Same with
Smashing Pumpkins.
Smashing Pumpkins, yeah, that was
Yeah.
disappointing to say the least.
They really had a bad night.
Yeah.
But there were many other bands that really switched it on.
Yep.
Duran Duran was definitely the highlight of the night.
Yeah, Robin, Air was really good.
Yes, Air was mint. The presets.
Presets, yeah, they played well.
And the lead singer of Duran Duran trying to get the women in the audience to show their titties by saying that the police said it was okay
For tonight only.
for tonight only, and that the men were allowed to flash their titties too.
Yep.
Yes.
Oh my god.
And so anyone that did it in the crowd was instantly up on the big screen because they were filming the audience and there's big screens on either side of the stage. People were cheering and
lawless times. And music festivals often are lawless, very, very lawless. Were there any storms at any of the concerts you went to?
It was here in Orange at the go-kart track. Brian Cadd, before he went to, it was his last concert in Australia before he went to America. And that was the first time I've ever seen a laser show, but they only had 2 lasers or something like that, spinning them around. Yeah, there was lightning, so it was a bit epic that night.
Did you see anyone else that was sort of iconic in Orange?
Yeah, Hush was in Orange. Australian bands, yeah. Daddy Cool. I saw Don Burrows and that trumpet player. Oh, I can't think, but he's a famous Australian trumpet player.
Yes, I know.
Those different concerts, they were great. I've seen country and western acts, Troy Casadale and Sarah Storer. The Angels played here. A couple of different, the Brewster Brothers and Doc Nielsen's Angels and the original Angels.
Yeah. I stole the Sarah Storer poster after the show because I went with Dad.
Yeah.
Stole the poster.
I've still got a T-shirt with her sign. Like she signed it with gold.
Nice.
I don't know where it is. There was Cor Blund from Canada. His band was lovely. We've got a couple of his CDs. McClymont Sisters. They were very good on stage as well. Like the Australian acts are really good. They're polished, just not as famous as the overseas acts.
True.
Oh, we also saw the Beach Boys here in Orange. There was, I think, only 2 of the original people from the Beach Boys and Wade Park. Yeah. And they were backed up, and they were really good too. They were hot. They a big brass section.
Nice. What song are you vibing with lately?
A Carole King.
Mm-hmm.
That was the song. Get Down and Get With It.
Slade.
Yeah,
I knew. I couldn't think of it, but I love Slade.
Slade.
Yes.
Yeah, a bit of Stones music, some Beatles stuff, but more like George Harrison.
How do you listen to music at home?
With my iPad, and my earphones.
Mm-hmm.
When the weather's warmer, I'm out in the shed, stereo system out there, and all my CDs and LPs.
You have quite an extensive LP and CD collection, correct?
There's a few out there, yeah.
A few? Yep. I remember some of those LPs from when I was a kid, like Minnie Riperton and the Rolling Stones and Led Zeppelin. Yes. Very iconic. Are you a streamer or a radio listener in your car?
I listen to the radio, and it's always the ABC FM classic music in the car.
Nice. Fancy.
Yep.
Are there any genres of music that you aren't interested in?
No, not really. I like pretty much everything, all the way from like 12th century church choral music through to heavy metal. I don't like everything, like every genre, there's stuff I like. So
A little bit here, a little bit there.
yeah, rock and roll, folk, bluegrass.
More often than not, I will like one song from a band and then that's it. You know,
Okay, yeah.
some bands are standout, but others they've just got a really nice sound on one of their songs, and that's fine for me. I can have that on my list. What does your guitar collection look like?
Varied.
It looks
I have.
varied. Please elaborate.
I haven't got any Gibsons because they're too expensive, but I've got Fender and Epiphone and Gretsch. Then I've got some more like Maton and Chapman guitars from England. They're only made for one music shop.
So, over the years playing guitar, I know you're more recent to it, but what was one of your proudest moments of learning a song? And what was the song?
I think back when I was really getting into it and I had a teacher, I learnt to play, I think it was America, was it America, by Simon and Garfunkel, which had like a lot of runs in it as well as chords. So I enjoyed learning to play that, and I felt pretty good about myself. And then I could, play other songs that I didn't think I'd ever be able to master, not having the ability to play anymore. I've got no feeling in my fingers now. It's just disappointing. I do pick up the guitar occasionally, but for a little while it makes me happy, but then I'm sad when I put it down.
Oh, if you could recommend one song that a person should listen to in their lifetime, and I know that's a tricky question, but think about something that you really, really like, what would that song be?
With a little help from my friends, originally by the Beatles, but an amazing cover by Joe Cocker. Like that song, like the way he does it is just so amazing, and that was one that sprung straight to mind.
And I'd definitely like to pop in that having a listen to the Woodstock version would be high up there.
Yep.
Last but not least, what does music mean to you?
Well, music is like part of my life. Music is life. It's the soundtrack to your life. The songs that you like, the beats of your life. And I feel sad for people that don't get enjoyment out of music because it gives me such pleasure. Like I can listen to like the Nessun Dorma and it brings me to tears every time. Pavarotti, like the tears run down my eyes. It means a lot to me. It's an emotional connection.
It sure is.
Yeah.
Well, that concludes another episode of The Man, the Myth, the Legend on the Londero Lounge. Thank you for coming here today, Dad.
Thank you.
Always
Thank you,
appreciate
listeners.
it. Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you.